My colleague Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, joining us from the Red Square is Xenia Kondrateva. Xenia Kondrateva is in Moscow, where those celebrations are taking place. Also with me is Olga Vorozbet. She's a senior journalist who joins us from Lviv, from Ukraine. But I want to first go across to the Red Square as we see that entire Red Square completely lit up. Xenia, has Moscow factored this in, this accelerated request for membership of NATO by Ukraine just now?
I'm sorry, you might be not very audible because I'm at the Red Square where the concert is continuing, the people are leaving. Most of the people here do not yet have the update on the Ukraine's Kyiv statement, NATO statement. So people are celebrating here. When they are being asked what are the consequences, they say that that doesn't matter because a historical event has happened. But definitely experts are expecting further escalation.
Oh, there is an apprehension that there will be an escalation. Stay with me for a moment as we see what's happening behind you at the Red Square. I also want to bring into this conversation Olga from Lviv. Olga, in your appreciation, is this request for accelerated NATO membership in anger? Is this for domestic consumption? What's the thinking in Ukraine after what happened in Moscow today, Olga?
First of all, thank you for your invitation. First of all, let me maybe tell you the exact situation, because what Putin today announced, he de facto, he even does not control the territories that he calls it his. So this was just, I can call anything as mine. So this was the position that Putin used today. This is the first point. Concerning the NATO membership, if you look at the polls, and I'm observing the polls for the support of NATO and EU membership for years, they are only increasing. The support of NATO membership by the Ukrainians is only increasing. Before the war, it was already, before the full-scale invasion, it was already the majority. In June, it was like 75% or 76% of Ukrainians supported entering NATO. And today, President Zelenskyy also, he said a very important thing when while signing this application. He said that de facto Ukraine completed its way towards the NATO, and at the moment, frankly, we are defeating not only Ukrainians' democracy, not only our sovereignty, but the democracies in the European and other European countries.
Is this war actually all set to intensify? Olga, stay with me for a moment. I also want to bring into this conversation our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan. Geeta, we are looking at what's happening in Ukraine. We are looking at what's happening in Russia. But you also heard what the American president said, what UN Secretary General said. This is unacceptable. Is there an apprehension this war, despite the onset of winters, is set to escalate?
Well, the big news that's actually coming in right now is Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO chief. Gaurav has just put out a statement, a video statement. We'll be playing that out very shortly. And he's very clearly said that Ukraine, as of now, cannot join the NATO. That's a very, very big news, despite Ukraine and Kyiv's application to fast-track membership to NATO. Jens Stoltenberg, NATO chief, has said that they can't have Ukraine as a member. The reason that he's given is that the decision to join the 30-member grouping has to be unanimous, and we do know that that Russia still wields some hold in power when it comes to certain countries, particularly Turkey, when it comes to inclusion of any country, any new member into the NATO. That was the reason why Sweden and Finland also were facing certain problems. Those certainly have been ironed out, but a unanimous decision, and the NATO chief right now saying that Ukraine cannot be admitted as of now.
Because this would also
really
mean, and you know, we have both Olga and Xenia Kondrateva with us on the broadcast. This would also mean that those 30 NATO countries would directly be in conflict with Russia, an armed conflict, in case Ukraine was accepted as a part of NATO at this stage when the borders remain fluid. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced integration, as Russia puts it, or annexation, as Ukraine puts it, of 4 provinces of Ukraine into Russia. These are Kherson, Zaporozhye, these are both in the south, Luhansk, and about 70% of Donetsk, that's in the east. Ukraine is livid. United Nations has called it unacceptable, and the United States has announced some sanctions.